Chapter 1. The clock nobody talks about. The most powerful retirement tool you have right now isn't money. It's time. Picture two people, both 25 years old, both starting from zero. The first one starts putting aside $200 a month into a retirement account today. The second one decides to wait just 5 years. Same amount, same account, same everything. Just a 5-year head start versus a 5-year delay. Same $200 per month. One starts at 25. One starts at 30. By retirement, the gap between them is enormous. We're talking about a difference that could buy a house. Not because one earned more. Not because one invested better. Just because one started earlier. The gap equals hundreds of thousands of dollars. The cause equals 5 years. This is the single most important financial truth about your 20s. And most people don't hear it until they're 40, sitting across from a financial advisor, wishing someone had told them sooner. That someone is me. Right now? So let's keep going. Chapter 2. The free money most people ignore. 1 in 4 employees don't contribute enough to get their full employer match. Here is something that will frustrate you, because it's so simple, and so many people miss it. If your employer offers a 401k match, and you don't contribute enough to capture the full match, you are handing back part of your salary every single month. Here's how it works. Say your employer matches 100% of the first 3% of your salary. Whatever that 3% looks like for you, your employer drops in the exact same amount automatically for free. That's a 100% instant return before your money has even had a chance to grow. Contribute your 3% employer matches at instant 100% return. And if you only put in half of what qualifies, you only collect half the free money. Over 30 years of compounding, that uncollected match could have grown into something life-changing. Something that makes the difference between a comfortable retirement and a tight one. One thing to know, most employer matches come with a vesting schedule. That means you only fully own the matched money after staying at the company for a set period, usually 2 to 4 years. Check yours before you plan to leave. Walking away too early could mean walking away from thousands of dollars that were almost yours. Take a deep breath and do this now. Log into your work HR portal today. Find your 401k plan. Look at the employer match percentage and your vesting schedule. Contribute at least enough to capture the full match. This is the one move with a guaranteed return. You won't find a better deal anywhere else. Chapter 3. The magic that happens while you sleep. Compound interest. Earning returns on your returns forever. Most people think of saving as a linear thing. You put in $100. You earn a little interest. The end. That is not how compound interest works. And the difference is enormous. Here is the simplest way to understand it. You invest a lump sum at 25. You never touch it. You never add another dollar. Just leave it completely alone. By the time you reach 65, at a normal average market return, that single deposit has grown to more than 20 times what you put in. Not because you did anything. Because your money earned returns. And then those returns earned returns. And then those earned returns for 40 years. Start at 25, money grows 20x by 65. Start at 45, same money grows only 4x. Start the same amount at 45 instead, you end up with roughly a fifth of what the 25-year-old has. Same money, same interest rate. The only difference is the 20 years you gave it to breathe. Time is the ingredient money cannot replace. Observe this pattern, saving a little every week from age 25 versus saving 4 times as much from age 45. Which wins? The person who starts small at 25 wins comfortably. Even putting away 4 times less per week, they still end up ahead because compounding had 20 extra years to work. The person who waited and tried to catch up with bigger deposits never quite gets there. Starting small early always beats starting big late. This is not motivational talk. This is just pure mathematics. I wish someone had sat me down at 25 and just said this out loud. Not in a textbook. Not buried inside a financial planning website at midnight. Just said it simply, clearly, like a friend who figured it out a little earlier and wanted to save you the regret. That's the only reason this channel exists. So consider this me, sitting across from you, saying it now. Chapter 4. The account that changes everything. In your 20s, your income is probably the lowest it will ever be. That is secretly your greatest tax advantage. Let me explain why a Roth IRA is one of the most powerful tools a 25-year-old has access to, and why most people in their 20s don't use it. A Roth IRA works like this. You contribute money you've already paid tax on, so there is no tax deduction today. But everything that money grows into, over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, every single dollar of growth, you withdraw completely tax-free in retirement. Roth IRA equals pay tax once at your current, low rate. Keep everything it becomes. Here is the part that makes it especially powerful in your 20s. Right now, your income is likely lower than it will be later in your career. That means your tax rate is lower too. By putting money into a Roth now, you're locking in that low tax rate on your contributions, and every dollar of future growth escapes taxes entirely. A traditional IRA flips it. You get the tax break today, but when you withdraw in retirement, potentially at a higher tax rate, you pay taxes on everything. For most 25-year-olds, Roth IRA wins. For example, let us say you contribute a few $100s a month to a Roth IRA consistently from age 25. By the time you retire, at a normal average return, you could be sitting on well over $1 million in a Roth. That's yours. Tax-free. In a traditional IRA, a very large chunk of that goes to the government on withdrawal. Same consistent habit. Completely different outcome. Just because of which account you chose at 25. Same habit. Same return. Roth IRA keeps significantly more at retirement. One more thing. The Roth IRA has a contribution income limit, so check current IRS guidelines to confirm you qualify. If you earn too much for a Roth, a traditional IRA, or your 401k still work. The vehicle matters less than the habit of using one. Chapter 5. The invisible thief called lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep. When your spending rises faster than your income quietly every single year. You get your first real job or your first promotion or your first significant raise. And then, almost without noticing, your expenses grow to match. Nicer apartment, newer car, more meals out, more subscriptions. Nothing dramatic, nothing reckless, just more. This is called lifestyle creep, and it is the silent retirement killer that nobody in their 20s sees coming. Now imagine this. Two friends, both 26, both just got promoted to the same salary. Both are excited. The first one celebrates by upgrading her apartment and her car. Her monthly expenses rise significantly. She plans to start saving seriously next year when things settle down. Next year, she gets another raise and her expenses rise again. A decade later, she earns nearly double what she started on, and somehow still has very little in savings. The second friend celebrates differently. He increases his retirement contribution by the same percentage as his raise. He lives on what he lived on before. His lifestyle stays the same for now. A decade later, he earns the same salary as his friend, but he also has a retirement account that has been quietly growing for 10 years. Same career path. Same salary progression. Completely different financial futures. The only difference was what happened in the first 24 hours after each raise. Rule: every raise save first, then lifestyle later. Not the other way around. Here is the practical move. Every time your income increases, commit to directing at least half of that increase directly into your retirement or savings account before you change your lifestyle. Your standard of living rises, just more slowly, more intentionally, with a foundation underneath it. One more to go before we build your full system. Chapter 6. The foundation that protects everything. Retirement savings without a financial foundation is a house built on sand. Here is something most retirement videos skip over. And it matters. Before you can build wealth, you need a floor that stops your savings from being destroyed by life's inevitable surprises. Because the number one reason people in their 20s drain their retirement accounts early isn't bad investing. It's unexpected expenses hitting an empty emergency fund. And the only fallback is a penalty-heavy withdrawal from their 401k or a credit card bleeding interest every month. Early 401k withdrawal equals 10% penalty plus income taxes. You could lose nearly half of what you take out. The financial foundation has a specific order, and the order matters. The 4-step financial foundation. Step 1. Emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a liquid account. Step 2. Capture the full employer match. Free money first. Always. Step 3. Pay off high-interest debt. Anything that costs you more than a good investment earns. Step 4. Max out Roth IRA. Then back to 401k. Why this order? Because high-interest debt is a guaranteed loss. Every month you carry it, It costs you more than almost any investment can reliably return. Eliminate it first. Then let compound growth work without that weight dragging against it. The question most people ask wrong. That is, should I invest or pay off debt? But the right question is, which debt and what rate? Low-interest debt, like a mortgage or a student loan at a reasonable rate, you don't need to race to pay off. Let it sit. Put the difference into an account that earns more. High-interest debt, credit cards, personal loans bleeding double digits. Pay those aggressively before you invest a single additional dollar beyond the employer match. The math is not ambiguous. At this point, you know more about retirement than most people twice your age. Now let's turn all of it into a simple system you can actually follow. Chapter 7. Your 25-year-old retirement starter system. The 6-step retirement starter system for your 20s. Here it is. Your complete action plan. 6 moves in order starting today. Move 1. Build your emergency fund first. Target 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Open a separate savings account, not your main account. Label it emergency only. Set up an automatic transfer every payday. Start with whatever you can. Even a small amount every month builds the wall. The goal is several months of essential living expenses sitting untouched. This is what protects every other financial move you make. Move 2. Capture 100% of your employer match. Check your HR portal. Find the match percent. Contribute at least that much. Check the vesting schedule. Log into your company's benefits portal this week. Find your 401k. Look up the exact match formula and your vesting timeline. Contribute at minimum enough to capture the full match. This is a guaranteed return on your money. There is no smarter first move in personal finance. Move 3. Open a Roth IRA at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Takes 15 minutes online. If you qualify based on your income, open a Roth IRA today. Choose a simple low-cost index fund. An S&P 500 index fund is a clean starting point. Set up an automatic monthly contribution. Even a small monthly amount begins the compounding clock immediately. Check current IRS guidelines for the annual contribution limit and get as close to it as you can. Move 4. Tackle high-interest debt aggressively. High-interest debt equals pay it down before investing beyond the match. List every debt you carry. Sort by interest rate. Pay minimums on everything. Then direct every extra dollar at the highest rate debt first. Once it's gone, roll that payment into the next one. This is called the avalanche method. It costs you the least over time and clears the path for everything else. Move 5. Apply the raise rule and protect it like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Every raise, 50% goes to savings/investments. The other 50% is yours. This one is personal, because this is the move most people intend to do and never actually do. The raise arrives. Life gets more expensive, not because anything dramatic happened, just because a slightly nicer version of everything started to feel normal. And before you realize it, the raise is gone. Absorbed. Invisible like a mirage. So, here is the rule, and it is non-negotiable. Every single time your income goes up, immediately, that same week, before you change a single subscription or upgrade a single thing, redirect at least half of that increase into your retirement account. Not next month. Not after you figure out your new budget. That week itself. Set up the automatic transfer first. Then adjust your lifestyle with whatever's left. Future you is not abstract. Future you is just present you, older and tired, hoping that the person they used to be made good decisions. Be that person. Move 6. Increase by 1% every year. Increase your retirement contribution by 1% of salary every single year. Every year, ideally right after a raise so you never feel the difference in your take-home pay, bump your contribution rate up by just 1%. It sounds almost too small to matter. Over decades of compounding, it is one of the most powerful habits you can build. And it requires almost no willpower because you never adjust to the money in the first place. The Retirement Starter Checklist. Emergency fund open and auto-contributing 401k contribution set to capture full employer match. Vesting schedule checked and noted. Roth IRA opened and auto-investing monthly. High-interest debt listed and on an attack plan. Raise rule committed to in writing. Annual 1% contribution increase scheduled. Print this. Screenshot this. Put it somewhere you'll see it. The only question is, are you the one setting them up in the right direction? What is the one retirement move you're starting this week? Before you leave, pick just one thing from this video and commit to it in the comments. It motivates other viewers to commit to the system. Maybe it's opening a Roth IRA. Maybe it's checking your employer match. Maybe it's setting up your first automatic transfer. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to start. Because retirement isn't built by one giant decision. It's built by small decisions repeated for decades. So tell me, what's the one move you're starting this week? If this reached someone in your life who needed to hear it, share it with them. That's the only reason this channel exists. And if you want to be part of a community that refuses to be ignored, subscribe.